But everybody knew at that goddamn team meeting what the team meeting was about, and I guarantee it was about exactly what the hell I said it was about a couple of weeks ago. We play better as a unit with Jaylen, and that is not a disrespect to Trae Young.
And now, from Oak Park, Illinois, your host of the Shump Street Podcast, Iman Shumpert.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Shump Street. I am your host, Iman Shumpert, coming to you from L.A. I am here, and I am ready. This is the NBA show with championship aspiration. We got a great show for y'all, I swear. We're going to talk a lot of basketball, and we're going to get into a lot of details of the game. But first, we will talk about the Chicago Bears. Let's get off and go to Chicago, man. The Bears beat the Packers 31-27. Hosting a wild card game, the Bears were down 18 at home to the Packers until the fourth quarter. The Bears scored 25 points in the final frame for their seventh fourth quarter comeback this year. Oh, it's sweet, sweet revenge, man. Caleb Williams overcame a rough start. He just went out there and threw for 361 yards,
Ben Johnson came out on top in a legendary chess match because in the first quarter, he called this wide bunch look to the field side. And you notice the Packers defense only responded with 2 DBs over there. So the Bears were like, let me just hit this quick little screen out to Luther Burden, pick up 12 yards. So that told the Packers defense that the Bears are willing to take what they give them. So then in the second quarter, when the Bears come out and motion Colston Loveland in and kind of create one of those similar looks, something that they could run the screen out of, the Packers this time respond with man coverage. They want to match the numbers on the outside. They don't want to get beat by another one of those screen passes. So much so that their DBs kind of sit down on the shorter route, allow DJ Moore to come free, and he gets open for a first down. So then, with the game on the line, in one of the biggest moments, Ben Johnson calls a very similar one of those looks. He brings in Luther Burden while also having Darnell Wright attached on the left side. So it's a tackle over, which is why when they snap the ball, Darnell Wright just sprints out to the flat. Both of these receivers, Colston Loveland and DJ Moore, they sell blocks. Luther Burden kind of sells a block and then comes back for the screen. But by conditioning the Packers into thinking that they really need to guard against the screen, all three of these guys trigger downhill. And then all of a sudden, DJ Moore, he's releasing downfield. He's wide open. Bang. What a call from Ben Johnson. Game winner. What a game.
It's the Bears, and I don't care if it satisfy y'all. I really don't care if it make y'all uncomfortable. I don't care if y'all think it's luck. I'm so sick of the excuses that get texted to my phone. People be texting me during the game and be like, oh, what's up with your Bears? Oh, your Bears ain't really, your Bears. Why don't nobody call me the next day? Why I don't get the call? I don't get the call. I don't get the text. Man, people in their feelings, and I can't wait for them to crumble. I don't care.
Let me tell you something. You go into the tournament coming off of 2 losses, man. You go into the tournament off of 2 losses. You look up at halftime in this game, and it's 21-3. No panic. No panic. Poise. None of it. Built for pressure. That's you guys. Yeah. That's the first one. All right? That's what we had to do. This is one that you'll never forget. This is one you'll never forget. All right? Bring it on in. Bring it on in. Good, better, bad. Good, better, bad. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. It's good, get better. It's good, get better. You better get better. You better get better. There's on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Hey, man, I don't play football. Never played football. I've never been in a huddle. I've never been in a locker room for a football game. When I tell y'all my head would have been bleeding from how many times I would have headbutted people into their helmet without my helmet on. talking about before and after the game. I'd have been so goddamn hyped. They'd have had to tell me to chill. Hey, Shump, sit down. Calm down. Relax. We got a game to win. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was the sweetest victory. I don't know, we beat ourselves. Call it that. Why y'all whooping y'allself? I've never pulled the belt out and just whooped myself. Why y'all do it to y'allself? Like, I can't believe that interview. They didn't do nothing. We beat ourselves. Why y'all whooping yourself? You ain't gonna wait till your mama and daddy get home to do it for you? You gonna whoop yourself. Stupid ass boy. That was the dumbest interview. We don't care. We got another game next week. We don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I just want to give a shout out to the Bears, man. I ain't seen a cheese head and I don't know how long. I ain't seen it. Seen the cheese grater though. So here we go, baby. It is time for the rear view where we take a look back at the past week of NBA action, and boy, do we have some exciting shit to talk about. Trae Young has been traded. We have been talking about this on the podcast for a couple of weeks now. We started to see the trend happen when Jaylen got to doing his thing. But everybody knew at that goddamn team meeting what the team meeting was about, and I guarantee it was about exactly what the hell I said it was about a couple of weeks ago. We play better as a unit with Jaylen, and that is not a disrespect to Trae Young. What it is an acknowledgement to the NBA and the rest of the people that are in the NBA to understand there are certain things that are going to look great on paper that when you actually watch the game, I'm not talking about box score because it's a lot of y'all that is box score experts and box score fans. Like, I could tell y'all really got something. Y'all might have some. Honestly, y'all might be the most responsible motherfuckers on the earth because y'all motherfuckers really got a different responsibility while the game's on. And then y'all come over here and y'all look at the stat line and you think you know some shit. Which don't get me wrong, I have looked at plenty stat lines and I can tell you what happened in the game. But I can only do that because I watch these teams and I know what they come with, I know how they play, and then I know what to look for when I look at the stat sheet. I know what we're looking for, and I know the player or 2-3 players that I can look at on that stat sheet, and if they're playing some sort of consistency with their numbers, then I know that they're playing a certain way on this basketball club. The Atlanta Hawks will play better basketball now that Trae Young is gone, right? The problem is you are not allowed to trade Trae Young for this to Washington. CJ's not the caliber in that jersey that I would like to see with, what we got for 4-time All-Star. I just want a different quality player when I say I just gave up a 4-time All-Star, a guy that can go out here and get me, what was he averaging? 26, 27, and 9? That is just like, you can plug and play Trae Young, mark him down for 9 to 12 assists, mark him down for 25 to 35 points. But this is every night. And then you're talking about somebody that, adds a threat from the 3-point line, as soon as he crosses over half court, 1 or 2 dribbles over half court, you now have a threat that's going to extend your defense. That makes the pick and roll better because now you can get downhill. That makes the snake better because now you're playing in room, you're playing in space, and now anytime somebody makes a decision, it's an easy decision to deliver the ball, and it's also a cross-court pass if anybody ever rotates. Yeah, for that, I just feel like you should get more. And these motherfuckers ain't get shit. Like, I CJ at this point coming out of there, like, don't get me wrong, he's going to bring his stock up a little bit just because he's finally not going to be playing in, in D.C., right? Find a way to disrespect them because they violated you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Violate them. I ain't going to lie. When you see them, you better do it. Do it. I would, yes, feel disrespected, feel away. I know you wanted out of there, but you know what I'm saying? They got to respect you a little bit more. Kevin Durant is now 7th all-time with NBA scoring. A third-quarter jumper against Portland puts him at 31,422 points, just ahead of Wilt Chamberlain. KD, 7th of all time. That is a lot of fucking baskets. To go through the whole list, at number 1, LeBron James. At number 2, Kareem Abdul. At number 3, Karl Malone. Then we have Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Dirk Nowitzki, which then brings us Kevin Durant, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaquille O'Neal, and then James Harden. How fucking random is James Harden in that motherfucking list? That is crazy. James Harden has been scoring the ball that goddamn much. Wow. It blows my mind every time when I see shit like that, man, because I start thinking about how many points you got to score, how consistent you have to be, man. Shout out to James Harden and the body of work he's put together. Shout out to James Harden and his ability to influence the game, because I know a lot of times we hang our hat on Steph Curry changing the game with the jump shot. We don't give enough credit to James Harden for becoming this guy. Like, this argument that y'all have started, which I don't know where the fuck it came from, but y'all started this argument where it's like, you got to have a bag. Oh, you got to have a bag. And I get it. It's like the bag is like, you know what I mean, the weapons and everything that you've worked on in your off season that you can bring to the forefront anytime we need it, when we need a bucket and they need a stop. You know what I'm saying? You can get in your bag. We don't have to run a play. You can do it from the top of the key, from the wing, from the corner. It doesn't fucking matter. Go get your money. James Harden put together a bag like no other. You know it's coming. You know how the move starts. You know exactly what he's trying to do. And there's nothing you could do about it. And if there is something you could do about it, he also implements the ability to hunt the foul. With James Harden, you have to try and not make mistakes down the stretch. You have to try and play without fouling and play, physical, make sure you got your high hand up. It's just a lot of adjustments to how you would approach a game. And I don't think James Harden gets enough credit for the way he scores the ball and the way he can manipulate your game plan based off the rules. So looking beyond just the numbers, where does KD rank amongst the NBA scorers? Dan, I think KD's up there. And the reason I say KD's up there is because of what we're talking about. We're talking about a 7-foot guard. It's definitely a 2 guard. It is not a point guard. But when you look at the position, if you look at the dynamics when you're talking about what you want a guard to do, if you had a guard to do it at 7 feet, it's the equivalent of being on NBA 2K and designing somebody that nobody else can stop. KD is not a real thing. Him and Victor Wembanyama are cheat codes. That is what we go on 2K. You design a player, you make him as tall as you can. You give him the biggest foot you can. You make him able to dribble. You make him able to shoot. You make him run fast, dunk high. Like, it's just what you choose to do when you're a kid. I don't know why we do stupid shit like that. Maybe we foresaw Victor and KD being in the league. But KD's physical capabilities of being 7 feet and having the coordination of an athlete that is 6'3" to 6'7" is what makes him unbelievable and ridiculous to guard. His frame is small. It seems as if he's going to be somebody that is extremely weak when you play against him. He's not weak at all. I think his arms are just so long that his muscle can't get big because it's just long. So it takes a different shape or some shit. I don't know. But guarding him is a nightmare. And it's a pure scoring thing. It's one of them things where he takes what the defense gives you. A lot of people watch KD, and you might think he's picking spots. He's doing this, he's doing that. He'll pick spots, but when I look at somebody like K, it's the jab is to see what you're giving him. The hang dribbles, the drag dribbles, everything is to see rhythm-wise, what are you willing to give me and where can I get to? I got about 5 to 8 spots that I like on this side of the court, and which one are you going to give me? When you watch somebody like that, you just know somebody like that just watches a ton of film, and they are one of those people that are, just a fan of the game. You could play against certain guys and you think, oh, he's so gifted, he's so this, he's so that. You could tell KD is just in love with basketball. It's not hard to explain. It's not hard to see. That is somebody that used to carry the basketball around while they go to school and everywhere else after school. KD probably got some of the dirtiest hands y'all ever seen in y'all life. But it's because he carry a basketball around. He dribble that shit all day. Anthony Edwards, third youngest player in the NBA history to score 10,000 points. LeBron scored 10,000 at 23. Kevin Durant was 24 years and 33 days old when he scored 10K. Ant scores 10,000 in 24 years and 158 days years old. What is left to add to Ant-Man's game? I don't think there's anything to add, but to polish at the end of games, feeling like there are times at the end of games that I've watched the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I have felt like that's the coach's responsibility. That's Mike Conley's responsibility. That's this person's responsibility. That's that person's responsibility. With Ant-Man, the next step is all that shit is happening, and we're still going to win because I'm here. I've seen all that, but I've also seen Michael Jordan, and we supposed to lose over and over and over again. He don't let us lose. That's the only gene I need Ant-Man to develop because he has it here and there, but there is not the same pride of I told you so that Mike had. And if Ant-Man gets that little bit of I told you so, where it's like y'all rooted against me again, like that's what Ant-Man has to get to, where it's like y'all did it again, where y'all doubted me. Y'all did it again. Like y'all don't see what I do. And whenever he gets that way, where he feels chosen instead of picked, so to speak, I think they take the next step. But shout out to Anthony Edwards. Goddamn. I can't ask for much else out of you, brother. I'm not going to lie, brother. Dennis Schroeder suspended 3 games for attempting to strike another player. God damn, that's some bullshit. Dennis, I apologize if you attempted, I saw your Instagram comment. You said attempted with the eyes. So I don't know if that means you really went over there and slapped something. If you did slap something, I don't know what happened or what's going to go on. I don't know if y'all going to tell us a little bit about that in the offseason. Either way, Dennis Schroeder, you are now invited to come on to the Shump Street podcast. You ever want to clarify anything, you ever want to, get that out the way. You got to clear your name. You know what I mean? We got to know the truth.
During a free throw, Luka Doncic and Dennis Schroeder got into it. Not too many people know what led to it, so let's break it down. With 40 seconds left in the third, Luka missed a step-back three. Schroeder grabbed the long rebound, trying to push the ball. However, Luka swiped at him and Schroeder didn't like it. He confronted Luka, saying that he'll slap him if he does it again. Knowing those that don't know, these two have a long history. It started in the 2022 Eurobasket tournament. Germany and Slovenia were in the same group stage, led by Dennis Schroeder and Luka Doncic. With that in mind, the tension was on. These two were fighting for their countries and the game was close all throughout. That's until Luka took over in the fourth, flexing on Schroeder anytime he could. Then, as Schroeder tried to lay the ball up, Luka blocked him. He also had some words, making this matchup personal. Slovenia tried to dribble the clock out and Schroeder intentionally fouled one of Luka's teammates. That's when things got heated and Luka tried to cool things off. Schroeder didn't like that Luka was grabbing him, so he said, "Watch out, bro." Slovenia ended up winning the game, but Schroeder got his get back. In the 2025 Eurobasket tournament, Schroeder put up 20 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. Germany advanced to the semifinals, eliminating Slovenia. Schroeder immediately taunted Luka as he gave him a point and also laughed as the game ended.
So yeah, that clip was from a fan just breaking down a lot of the hostility. This was from a game on December 28th, but the suspension was announced January 10th. When you talk about NBA security, you talk about what they're trying to do, a lot of the times they need a little bit of time to evaluate the situation. Yes, they're trying to do it, quick and precise. But they also understand that there's a lot of gray areas in some of the altercations that go on because we are all grown-ass men. When you start talking about the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, all these leagues, these are grown-ass men. So, understanding that this is a competitive game, that, tempers will flare on, they also have to account for that. But when you start talking about winning, you start seeing things get chippy. When you start talking about rivalries, you start seeing things get chippy, and you start realizing the history of a lot of these players and what they have to go through. I just think that Dennis Schroeder being, one of the global guys, Luka being one of the global guys, there's always a bit of, I'm going to just say, it's a bit of fuck you going on. Like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. It's cool to watch, man. I'm sorry. It's very entertaining. Do I think Luka's going to turn around and punch Dennis? No. Do I think Dennis is going to walk up and punch Luka? Absolutely not. Whatever y'all did off the court that, made Dennis get suspended, I don't even think that shit was worth it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all wanted to box, y'all really could have boxed. Like, y'all ain't on that. So get back out there and start playing basketball and shit. Y'all not really on that. But I do love, the chippiness. I love feeling like guys hate each other for the 48 minutes they're on the court. Fucking hate each other. I don't want to see y'all hug. I don't want to see y'all train together in the offseason. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Go to war. But let's get to this Wemby kick. It's not a lot of times that I've been playing basketball and basketballs get stuck in the net, and instead of going up there to, slap the ball out with, my hands like a normal fucking person. And by the way, this the only other male that I've seen do a kick that sharp is Chris Brown. So shout out to Chris Brown and his dancing ass. We went to Sky Zone one time, and he told me about how he would have did something that, somebody was supposed to Russia, he was like, oh, no, I wouldn't have punched him. I'd have kicked him. And then he showed me the kick, and the kick was so high, I didn't understand where that came from. That's the only other time I've seen a vertical kick quite like this. Wembanyama kicked a basketball out of the net. Haven't seen it. You're not going to see it again. Look at the focus. That boy been monking. Y'all been dunking, and he been monking. Shit. Boy got flexibility, ain't he? Shout out to my boy Wembanyama, man. A wimba wet, a wimba wet, a wimba wet, a wimba wet. All right, y'all, let's get into this second quarter, and we will be checking on our MVP race. The NBA.com MVP ladder was recently updated, and here is the top 5 MVP candidates. At number 1, Nikola Jokic, 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists a game. Denver is sitting at 26-13, and he still needs to play the minimum of 65 games. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 32.6 assists and 5 rebounds a game. OKC is sitting at 33-7. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth to this tweet. They make it seem like that year that Chris Paul was finna get traded to the Lakers and they had to veto that shit and say, no, y'all ain't allowed to do this over here. That's how people speak on OKC. But they don't speak on the fact that the Clippers handed them all that shit. And this is exactly what we're supposed to be watching. Like, we are supposed to be watching championship shit out of them. And now it's biting y'all in the ass. Bed bugs. That's what it is. Bed bugs in your ass. Let's keep going, though, man. Jaylen Brown. I talked about this last week. Jaylen Brown. I don't know if he feels disrespected. I don't know if he's just championing being a champion. But when I talk about a healthy, balanced diet, God damn it, this is what I'm talking about. You want healthy? You want 2-pointers? You got it. You want driving to the basket? You want ball handling? You want step-back jumpers? You want fadeaways? Do you like threes? Do you like niggas getting dunked on? This is all the things that Jaylen Brown has pulled out of his bag because that light-skinned man is not there. The reason I wanted to acknowledge it last week was because I was saying if the light-skinned man was there and he was doing this, we'd be talking about MVP shit, and that we weren't talking about Jaylen Brown being an MVP enough. Jaylen, listen here, bro. Kick ass. Take names. Kick ass, though. Like, you hear me? Luka Doncic, 34 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds a game. LA is sitting at 23-13, and you know, I know that's in the West, so you don't overreact. But yeah, they're playing some good basketball over there, man. I just think that Luka has put a little bit too much on his plate for me to say that you're gonna keep doing this throughout the season and then do this throughout the playoffs. He shoulders a load. But when you shoulder a load, you also handicap your teammates because they're not going to be in a rhythm. They're not going to be in the flow of a game the way you are. You're always going to be more engaged and more active. Just because you have the ball, you're making the decisions, you have all the rhythm. Somebody that's so ball dominant and just decision-making dominant, I feel like, it rubs off on the team the wrong way sometimes. And I think Luka needs to find a balance for that. I had to watch LeBron find a balance for that. I believe he did it more so in that 2016 run than anything. But he was very conscious of activating, certain guys. I was one of those guys that needed to be activated at times. But the ball domination, is a thing that you have to account for. And I think that at times, Luka should watch film and understand it a little bit more. I'm not sure where LeBron's understanding came in, but it's always good when, individuals like that, dominate the ball, score the ball at a high clip, can understand where other guys are coming from, when they're asking for a rhythm, when they're asking for times that they can be aggressive or be assertive on the offensive end when they've had to play other roles for the rest of the game. But, yeah, Luka, hell of a season you're having so far. Just want to make sure that, when approaching the playoffs, you understand what else you have to bring to, the team and, what brand of basketball you're going to take into the playoffs will be interesting to see, especially alongside AR and LeBron. Victor Wembanyama at the last of the MVP ladder. 24 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. San Antonio is sitting at 27 and 11. Yeah, man, that's the Lion King, man. I told y'all. I ain't gonna lie, man. Watching him is, that got to be a kid's dream, man. I swear to God to y'all, I used to make Victor Wembanyama once a year on NBA 2K. To see that he actually exists now it makes me want to go back and say that those games that I had a creative player and I won, that I was supposed to have somebody that tall that can shoot. Like Victor's here, KD's here, Dirk existed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really say that no more. So shout out to Victor for making my NBA 2K battles make sense. Other potential MVPs in order, according to NBA.com, that is Cade Cunningham, that is Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Maxey, and Kevin Durant. Wow, Tyrese Maxey, way to get your ass in that conversation. Again, I apologize for doing a point guard battle and not picking you. The only reason I did that is because I wanted to piss Ari off, and we needed to go back and forth, and he left Jalen Brunson on the map. I'm so sorry. But, yeah, shout out to you for being in that MVP race. Shout out to Jalen Brunson, the left-hand bandit, for being in that MVP race. Cade Cunningham, again, you are having a hell of a year. When I watch Cade Cunningham, the scariest part is trying to figure out, does this motherfucker have a ceiling? Because when I watch him play, it doesn't look like he's moving at his top speed. It doesn't look like he's jumping at his top jump. It just looks like he's a lot better than a lot of people. And I don't understand it. He has no emotion. He follows the D-Rose act where there's not much emotion at all. You'll get some angry eyes here and there. Not very many expressions. There's no home run dances. There's no celebrating. There's no nothing. It's D-Rose and a little bit of Tim Duncan. And this motherfucker's playing fucking point guard for the Detroit Pistons. I ain't gonna lie, we're in trouble for a long time. It's halftime, so let's see what we got for today's entertainment. Go ahead and take us there, Dean.
Black people, I think we need to stop inviting white people to the cookout, okay? All right? My white coworker was like, yeah, I love Jay-Z. That's my favorite rapper. And then my black coworker was like, yo, he's invited to the cookout. And I was like, to do what? All right? And we were like, yo, Kyle, come over here and sing Jay-Z lyrics. And I was like, you know what? Hey, sing every lyric, okay? Yeah. Who's in Paris? Yeah, let me grab my phone out. Yeah. Black people, we don't get invited to anything, okay? All right? I never sang Bad Bunny and got invited to a quinceañera, okay? All right? I never had a locker and been invited to a Shabbat, okay? All right? He's invited to the cookout. I've never heard a white person be like, he's hired, okay?
All right, so I asked for, I know last week I asked for comedy and shit. I didn't know we was going to go and just step all over the racial line, but I'm totally with that. I'm totally with the uncomfortable conversation of being invited to the cookout. What's wild is Now, this is what makes for great comedy and great comedians for me. He played devil's advocate within a joke, and now I can't unsee it. We don't get invited to shit as black people. We are literally left out. But we inviting him to the cookout. Motherfucker could say the funniest shit they said all day, and we be like, oh, yeah, he invited to the cookout. What the fuck y'all gonna invite us to in return? I ain't been to no quinceañera. You know what I'm saying? Like, bar mitzvah. Like, nigga, I ain't get brought to a bar mitzvah since I was playing for the fucking Knicks. They didn't want me there. They wanted a fucking Knick. Am I too accepting and too inviting for you motherfuckers? Is the skin complexion too, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Because I want to invite. I ain't gonna lie. I would love to turn down a quinceañera. Make sure you go check my boy Alex out. Alex and his people do the Good Cousin comedy show in NYC. So make sure y'all go out there and get your tickets and go show some support. Again, he played devil's advocate with something that I never really paid attention to. We as black people do not get invited to other people's cookouts, so we need to stop inviting people to ours. It is now the third quarter, and we are going to play a little game of true and false. Let's run through them together. The San Antonio Spurs will win the Western Conference Finals. God damn, that's tough. That is tough. False. Jesus Christ. Do y'all realize SGA is still in the league and the OKC Thunder are still a team that's still hanging out? Like, they still riding in the same car listening to the songs. Like, they walking fast, and I'm homebound.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass, and I'm homebound.
That's the type of music they playing in their car. They're that together. Like, they don't have hiccups and shit. You see them complaining about shine and shit when a picture comes up. You see them trying to outdress each other. Hell no. Sometimes they all do this thing where they don't wear a belt. I don't know what the fuck it is, but they don't wear belts. And they pants be hanging low as fuck. Their whole team do it at some point. Especially fucking Shea and fucking, I feel terrible, Chet. Honestly, leave it in there. So Chet knows this is a real show. We doing real things, man. We doing real things, man. We forgetting names for real. Che, you my boy, Blue. You my boy. Trae Young will make another all-star team. Yeah, true. I think Trae Young's an exceptional talent, and he's very exciting for basketball fans. It's just when I have to look at realistic winning type situations, it's just certain things that I don't expect a lot out of Trae Young on. Like, people don't talk about it enough. I was just talking with my agent. Shout out to Sean Davis. Me and Sean were talking, and Sean posed the argument of, explaining what it is to say, a guy like Trae Young and his value. We know his value as far as us talking about the things that jump off of the paper, him scoring the ball the way that he does, the efficiency that he has with scoring the ball, shooting the three ball, posing the threat at the three ball, which allows defenses to extend out further than they would normally do, which makes your pick and roll way more effective, just knowing that you have to now guard the ball 2-3 steps above the three-point line just so Trae Young won't pull this shit. Being a willing passer and being able to have the ability of making somebody that is a dunker become more dangerous because you can put the ball up there at any time, downhill, in the half court, whatever. You can put the ball in the right spots to help somebody be a dunker and stay on the rim the whole game. You start talking about the disadvantage when you get to the other end, because the reason Trae Young didn't re-sign and the reason that we have all of these question marks next to his name is because when you go out there and you play Trae Young on the defensive end. It's not the one-on-one defense that's the problem. People think, oh, you have a problem on defense, and their automatic thought is he can't slide his puppies. Or he's Luka Doncic, where he just sometimes gets stuck in mud and won't move to, guard whatever you're trying to do. Trae Young is not one of those guys that allows people to just take one dribble and go by him or make one little move and just lay the shit up. But he is one of those guys that there is literally nothing that he can do once height, speed, and power get brought into the situation. There is literally nothing he can do. There's plenty of times that Trae Young is a 1-4 pick and roll. Trae Young gets caught in the pick and roll. The guy rolls, and then he puts Trae Young completely under the basket. There's plenty of times that there's a pick and roll. The guy's, showing that he's about to put Trae under the basket, which allows the corner man to feel like he needs to sink in to help Trae, or opposite big, as far as the ball side, pulls and comes in to leave somebody wide the fuck open because they feel like Trae's about to get beat. Being a defensive liability due to your size is a lot of the reason that when we started talking about that contract extension, and I know y'all jumped on me when I was in LA last time, and I said this about I understand the organization's perspective in saying that they're not going to re-sign him. These are the things that when you sit down at the table and you start playing devil's advocate before you make a pick or before, you pay a guy all that money, you start saying when we get into defensive troubles and defensive woes, we cannot hide him. There's only one player on the court per game that you can hide. If you try and hide two, you're dead out here. This is what scares people about the Lakers. If LeBron and Luka ain't going to guard shit, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And I'm not saying that Trae Young is not trying to guard shit. He cannot guard shit. He was not born with the correct body to guard none of this shit. These people is 6'5" and up. Every point guard has gotten bigger. Don't get me wrong, Trae Young's ability is out of this world. To be able to shoot that ball and feel like you throwing it into the ocean is crazy. But coming on the other end and people imposing their will against Trae Young, that is something that we are going to have to deal with. We're going to have to live with. And that's the things that you face when you start looking at the other side. Ja Morant will be traded this season. I have to say that is true. I don't know why y'all not appreciating him over there in Memphis. We'll take you in Chicago. We don't have a problem with none of that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. We don't got a problem with that in Chicago. We don't give a fuck about that. Your little hand gestures and all that. Win the game. Win the game. We don't care over here. Just so you know. Just saying. Luka will win at least one NBA championship with the Lakers. Luka, you're a winner, and I want to see you win. I do. Y'all got some moves to make, brother. Y'all got some moves to make. If that's ever going to become true, I'm going to have to go with false. The New York Knicks will advance to the Eastern Conference Finals this season. That is true. I do not think anybody's in their way. If anybody is in their way, it's Jaylen Brown. And Jaylen, as good as you are, I played for the New York Knicks. And it's going to be a big fuck you if y'all have to have a playoff series. So the Atlanta Hawks will make the playoffs this year. Right now, that is a false. The Hawks will make the playoffs this year. False. They might punch a ticket. I don't expect them to punch a ticket, though, and I don't feel like it's going to be a disappointment if they don't punch a ticket. Well, let's wait till next year before we start putting any pressure on the Hawks. I want to see them vibe, get used to Jaylen, like really, really dive into this now that they know this is the direction that we're moving. Giannis will be a Milwaukee Buck after this season's trade deadline. I could believe that. They didn't plan that out. I think that information leaked. We don't realize it, that it got leaked, how it got leaked, but Giannis has done his best to try and be a professional, to try and play the politics and act like, oh, it ain't nothing going on and everything. We know good and goddamn well y'all motherfuckers is shopping that motherfucker. It's just y'all can't put the right shit together. I don't think that the right shit is going to come before this deadline, but I don't think that Giannis will finish up in Milwaukee the way that one rumor got sent out that, he plans on being there for the rest of his career, bloppity blue blop the blam. Giannis, it's okay to want to go to Miami. It's okay. It's okay. Like, you want to play in New York. It's okay, bro. It's okay. We are not mad at you. You know what I'm saying? All right, baby. It is the fourth quarter, and now it is time for us to go ahead with the look ahead. I know my brother is not here right now to give us the NBA matchups for this week, so I am here to do it for y'all. Tuesday, we have the Suns at the Heat, the Bulls at the Rockets, the Wolves at the Bucks, and Spurs at the Thunder. Oh, Tuesday will be a great day of basketball. Not going to lie to you, I love all of these matchups. Of course, I'm going to be watching the Bulls and Rockets a little bit closer than everything else, but the Spurs and the Thunder are the marquee matchup, and that is what I want to see. I have the Thunder getting their revenge because the Spurs came in there and kicked shit up. Wednesday, the Cavs and the Sixers. I love when these two teams play. They are a beauty to watch, especially head-to-head. I love to watch their guard matchup and their guard breakdowns. The Nuggets and Mavs will be following up after that. First off, I'm going to take the Cavs and Sixers. And you know what? Let me get the Nuggies on that. I'm going to take the Nuggies. Thursday's action. We got the Phoenix Suns over there in Detroit, playing the Pistons, Celtics, Heat, Thunder, Rockets, Bucks, Spurs, and Knicks, Warriors. Thursday, I need y'all to make sure that you do not miss the Bucks and the Spurs, because that is going to be a beauty to watch. The Thunder and the Rockets, another great example of just basketball. We talk about the brand of basketball the Thunder bring. And then you talk about the opposition and watching the Houston Rockets. I know Iman Thompson wasn't expected as much being the point guard of that group. But when I watch the brand of basketball that they play, oh boy, does it make me want to see other guys around the league that aren't traditional point guards. I want to see them get groomed into point guards just because of the natural ability to get downhill that guys have from coming playing the wing. And honestly, go watch the Knicks Warriors game. We're going to watch that. We're definitely going to watch that. I think Jaylen and them will come pack their ass out, but we're going to watch that. Friday, Clippers, Raptors, Wolves, Rockets. The Raptors have been a great team to watch, and this will be in Toronto, which is why I'm going to say I think I'll take the Clippers in that win. People are going to say why, because little do y'all know, Toronto is one of my favorite NBA cities. Toronto is a really nice overnight visit, all right? So I think James Harden will be playing exceptionally well. And when him and Kawhi seem to click on all cylinders, they fare well. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give them a little boost for being in Toronto. Wolves, Rockets. I want the Wolves to win and all that. So I'm going to pick the Wolves, but I can almost see it coming that the Rockets as a matchup are just too much for the Wolves. Saturday, Celtics, Hawks, Suns, Knicks, Thunder, Heat, Wolves, Spurs, Lakers, Blazers. Oh, that Celtics-Hawks game. Give me the Celtics. They playing some good basketball right now. Jaylen Brown stopped spraying on his line, and so his aerodynamics are better. Yeah, he's playing well. Suns, Knicks. Hey, Phoenix, y'all are playing great, but I'm not picking against my Knicks, man. Dylan, don't start staring at me. Stare at somebody else. But I'm definitely picking the Knicks over y'all. I want to see that Wolves-Spurs game so bad. I'm gonna take the Spurs. They're at home. I'm gonna take the Spurs. Professional winning over there. Sunday's action: Pelicans, Rockets, Raptors, Lakers. I think that's gonna be a Rockets win as well as a Lakers win late. I think that they'll pull that out late against the Raptors. LeBron's got an incredible history against the Raptors, so that'll be fun to watch. Which, by the way, Bron, everybody was going crazy when you just went on the breakaway and just like brought that bitch over as somebody like ran past to strip you. Like you brought that shit over and then did a two-hand dunk. I just want you to know that didn't impress me. I know what you're capable of. Doesn't impress me at all, Bron. Now, what's impressive is you should have showed yourself inking the contract. Now, if you show yourself inking a fucking contract at 41, now that shit is impressive. But that little, I knew you could do that. You strong. Bron, why you giving that shorty? Why you hit her with that? Like, I ain't gonna lie. If I came out there and I'm trying to strip you, I'm trying to run you down when you trying to get a breakaway and all that, and you look back at me like that, Bron, I'm fouling you next play. I ain't gonna lie. I'd have fouled the fuck out of you. I ain't gonna lie. We'd had to talk about it on the free throw line, brother. Monday, Bucks, Hawks, Thunder, Cavs, Mavs, Knicks, Celtics, Pistons, Heat, Warriors. I'm telling you now, that Celtics-Pistons game is the marquee matchup. That's what I want to see. The Mavs and Knicks is going to be fun to watch, but I'm going to have my Knicks pulling out on top of that. Thunder, Cavs, God damn it, Cavs. I don't want to go against you, but the OKC Thunder are hard to deal with. But y'all on the road, so y'all might get y'all ass kicked. Shout out to the Cavs. Bucks, Hawks. Give me the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Give me the Bucks on that one. I'm going to give the Hawks some time after that. After that trade, it's a little bit of a, it's not one of them things where you like trade them and then it's like, oh, we finna win 20 straight games. Like, y'all ain't get shit. Like, I'm sorry. I feel like you should have got way more for Trae Young. I don't know if, my thought process is off because I don't know what it takes as far as, making the money make sense and, the picks and all that dumbass shit. But you get more for Trae Young. I'm sorry. I know the nigga can't play no defense because he only fucking 6 feet tall. He probably $150 soaking wet. But shit, you get something for that. Motherfucker shoot it from the logo, bro. You get something for that. Motherfucker can throw a lob with either hand in the middle of his dribble on the breakaway behind his back. It's no way you just get rid of something that exciting and all you get is CJ. God damn it. It sounds crazy because it sounds like I'm saying CJ ain't that. CJ is that. We'll see what he becomes because now he in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Everything get more exciting in Atlanta, CJ. Have fun now. Hey, CJ, have fun. Don't get in trouble. Have fun, though. This is your first NBA city you can really have fun in now, CJ, now that I think about it. Yeah, enjoy Magic City. We go for the food, but enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we go for the food at this point. You know what I'm saying? We got the couple dancers we like that you know what I'm saying? And now it is time for us to get up out of here. I want to give a thank you to you guys for coming in here. Thank you for coming in watching Shump Street. And make sure that you go like, share, comment, subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The Shump Street Podcast, man. Make sure you stay up to date with us. We do this weekly.